So I'm applying the drawing gum here, and I've accelerated the video so that you don't have to watch every little brush stroke. The idea here is to kind of create a boundary, put in some tree trunks, some limbs. I'm also going to kind of outline around the gate and protect areas where I don't want my sky color to go flowing into. There's going to be a lot of this resist material throughout the upper portion of the painting, and I don't have to do every leaf, but I like to retain a lot of white so that when I get to painting the leaves that I have that light value, that the paints aren't influenced by the blue that I'm going to be putting down. So I'm going to work this stuff all over the top, and then after that dries I'm going to be removing it, and then I can do a wash. So here I'm applying some water, and you just use a super light touch with a soft bristle brush. I want to get the paper really wet, but apply the water as evenly as possible. And if you're unsure whether everything's wet, if you get down at eye level with the paper, you should be able to see the sheen of the water on the surface. So what I'm using here is a combination of Prussian, cobalt, and a little bit of cerulean blue. And I want to just give that a test to make sure that's what I'm looking for. That's very intense color, but when it dries, of course, it will lose some of that. And a little bit more cobalt. There we go. All right. The color is going to be strongest up here at the top, and I'm just going to begin brushing in here. Let that work its way in between all these leaves. I'm using plenty of water. And I just dripped. I love the way this paper distributes that color. I'm going to lighten this up down here a little bit. Since we're getting down closer to the horizon, I want it to be a little lighter lower. And when you're applying a big wash like this, I think you got to be careful about your brush work, because you don't want to work it back and forth. You want to let the water move the paint. You do have to keep an eye as it dries, which I'll be doing. And I'll be softening up some edges. picking up a little bit of color here and there. Okay, so this has dried, and I'm going to start removing my masking film. And I'm not going to get too tough on it. It's going to take a little while to get all this off of there. Okay, so paper has dried, and you can see how much the color has changed, but part of that is the fact that I took an elephant ear sponge and I very lightly lifted a little color when this was really wet. You just gently drag this across, just barely touching the surface, and it'll pick up a little bit of paint because my color concentration was just a little too much. And now it's satisfactory, it's dried, it's very pale, and I added a touch of indigo to my mixture to tone it down. So it's a little darker up near the top, and then a little lighter as you work your way down, and you've got the feeling of some very light, like cirrus type clouds, very hazy back here, and that's just from doing a little lift with this sponge, which you keep very clean and just barely touch the surface, and it very softly will pick up some color. So now you can see the white, and although not very much of this is actually going to be white, I at least can paint my leaves, and most of them are not going to be influenced by the blue in the background. So I think I'm pretty much ready to go, and it's going to be nice to move on to doing some real painting without all the tricks and turning the thing upside down, and a little more conventional from here on out.